We've all been suffering with high interest rates, feeling the bank's trouble putting a pinch on us as they raise rates and reject loans. We've been getting you some help from a Houston attorney whose focus is to fight the unfair practices of creditors, hoping to help consumers get out of debt. He and Mike Iskovitz are in our newsroom right now talking about Occupy Wall Street, which has now spread to Occupy Houston. Mike?
Yeah, Melissa, we're here with attorney John Mastriani from the Mastriani Law Firm. He fights against creditors, banks that are trying to unfairly charge extra fees and so forth to people who are struggling with debt. Now, with the Occupy Wall Street movement and now Occupy Houston, John, even though I think some folks in the population out there may be a little bit annoyed by them, I think a lot of people share the feeling with them that we're angry at the banks and what the banks have done.
Well, I believe that they should be angry with the banks. Banks don't want you to live richly. They want everything for themselves. They promise you a gold mine, and they just give you the shaft. We've all seen the commercials. You see the people out there supposedly enjoying themselves on the beach and stuff. They
don't. With a sailboat, yeah, I know.
With a sailboat, they don't realize when they get back home they might be paying for that trip the rest of their life. It's just Madison Avenue advertisements that the banks are using to lure the people in and get them on that constant treadmill where they'll never get out of debt.
Well, let's talk about some of that. You say the banks, they don't want you to pay off your bills on time because they don't make any money that way.
Exactly. If you pay off your bill on time, they don't have you what they call as a revolver, where they're going to continue with the high interest rate. They're going to keep you there. They're going to be tacking the interest on. And also they actually want you to keep paying so they can set you up, do something where they'll change the contract on you.
Let's talk about that, because he was telling me a story about this lady who was just barely shy on paying off the entire balance, and they just put her through the ringer. Tell me about that.
Exactly. Well, it wasn't the entire balance, it was the entire monthly payment.
Okay.
But it was a $212 payment. She timely made the payment of, I believe it was $210 or something. She missed by one penny.
One penny short on the payment.
And the banks turned around, even though she's 1 penny short, and they increased her interest rate from 12.99 to 30%.
Right.
And hit her up with a late fee because they didn't believe she made the payment.
Because by the letter of the law of the contract, technically she didn't make the full payment by a penny, but they had the discretion to not, do that to her. But the banks don't really like to, I guess, have mercy.
They don't like to have mercy. They're lazy. They just got some disinterested computer that's actually out there that can really control someone's life. Something like that, when you go up from 12.99 to 30, that causes an increase in everything else she's doing, because all the other creditors are lurking out there going, hopefully she misses it, so they can all raise their rates.
Sure. Tell me about the gas station, paying versus a credit card versus a debit card.
Okay, well, we had a situation at a gas station where a person went, they had a $300 limit on their credit card. They had $295 on the card. They don't know. You can't keep track of 100% of what's in your hand.
Sure.
So they went, they run their card through like a normal person would do. They get credit. The bank authorizes the payment. They get to the pump and they keep pumping. And she pumped about $30 worth of gas in the car. Lo and behold, she gets her monthly statement. That $30 gas tank cost her close to $75. $35 over the limit fee. Once she goes over the limit, they turn around and they say, oh, you're over the limit. Now you're even a worse credit risk. And as a result of that, they increase her interest
But they
rate.
approved the transaction. That's the thing.
Yeah, they approve it. I mean, why not approve it for $5 and then shut that pump off at $5? They like you to make mistakes so they can not only get you on that treadmill, make that treadmill wheel even bigger.
Finally, what should somebody do if they feel like they're being treated unfairly? I mean, to contact an attorney like yourself, at what point should they decide that they're going to fight back if they feel like they're being treated unfairly? Because frankly, a lot of people are sort of embarrassed to owe money to the bank. They don't know what to do.
Well, as we talked about a little earlier in this interview, they shouldn't be embarrassed. They've fallen actually victim to the bank scam they perpetrated on them to take their money. Don't allow this constant barraging of phone calls and letters to embarrass you. The banks went when they had a problem. They're the ones that created the problem. They went and got help. People need to get help as well.
Okay, you can go to this website, And your website for the Mastriani Law Firm is?
It's TexasDebtDefense.com.
Okay, terrific. John Mastriani, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Great.